Hi, folks. I think we're working. It keeps saying it's been freezing, but I think we're okay. I hope. That's Jane Garrison there on the right from the Painters Threads Nuts, and Beth on the left. And yeah, you've seen us before. So there we go. Thanks for joining us. Been working on the technology. I hope we got it so we don't have any trouble tonight. Though I must say I'm a little nervous and apprehensive. And by the way, all the tests that we've been doing here in the past week, thanks to those folks who have signed on and helped us out, just giving feedback, really appreciated. It's just, yeah, frustrating when these things go like this. And last time we did that show, it was awful. So I've been working pretty hard here in the last couple weeks to make sure it doesn't happen again. But thanks to everybody who signs on and says, yeah, I can hear you, yeah, I can see you. It really does. I know it seems simple on your end, but it's a big help on this end. It helps me sleep at night. So thanks for that. Because it makes me nervous. So Sunday's show, we got a whole bunch of Painters Thread stuff coming up here. So buckle up, and we got a chance for you to spend some money too. So be ready for that. We always have a chance for people to spend money. Sunday's show is Georgina Bellamy, and Georgina does 3D gold work. Like, she makes these things and they're not attached to any ground cloth. And so if you get Inspirations magazine, she has done a couple of projects in Inspirations. Oops. And this is just some of her work. And so that's Sunday. She's a lot of fun. So make sure you note that and don't miss out, because that's a good one. So that's Georgina Bellamy. So back we are, I think. Sorry, folks, I'm just really apprehensive about this whole technology thing. I think we got it, but I can't say for sure. So tonight, the idea is to just share with you about Painters Threads. And it was a couple weeks ago that we had the show with Jane, and then she's with us tonight. We got several pictures. She's got, as you can see, a tray of stuff right in front of her there, of all kinds of things. And but the first thing is that she has put together a package of Painters Threads, so that you can get just a small collection to play with. So Jane, tell us about what you put together and what people get.
Okay, first of all, these are packages that we no longer sell, so the sizes are different than what's on the website. But you get 3 skeins of Pearl Cotton 5, 1 skein of Pearl Cotton 3, 1 of Pearl 8, 2 different skeins of braided cotton. I'm going to talk about all of these things tonight. 1 skein of Shimmer Blend ribbon floss, 1 skein of metallic braid. It's either going to be a 4 or an 8. 1 skein of soft cotton and a skein of gimp. Altogether, available for sale, they were about $80. There are no color choices. It's what you get is what you get. And it's going to ship to you free for $35.
And her website up there at the top, and right on the home page, is the same photo, and so you can order. You don't even have to search through the website. You can just go right to the home page and order right there. Now, Jane, you say that the package size isn't available, but you still offer all of these threads, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Every is still available. They're just in different sizes. We've gone to a spool configuration now. So the yardage changed. And so these have fewer yards, but it gives you a chance to put some in your hand and try it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
That was the purpose. Yep. So you just something for your staff. And this, in a lot of instances, as we talked about in the Sunday show, this is a thread that you want to just have in your stash, just because it can be used so many places as a substitute or an enhancement in one of your any project. So that's why we're going through this tonight, so you can see how it gets used. So
Yeah, it really is like everything. I mean, everything that's on the market today, the pearl cotton, for example, is made by DMC, but it's dyed by the House of Textile Arts in Germany. And she does a very different style of dyeing, which is called paint threads. She named the original 30 for 30 painters that had a recognizable color palette. And then there's 10 more that are pastels. And so the range is the same in every fiber, and there's altogether about 50 fibers.
yeah,
Yeah,
quite a
it's too
collection.
bad I don't haven't won the lottery and I can't get them all.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you keep working on that, Beth. That lottery thing.
Okay,
Let me know. Let me know.
yeah, yeah,
Let me know how that goes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't do the lottery. Sorry.
Jane is saying something. I'm not hearing you, Jane.
No, no.
It's got a
I'm just
delay.
sitting here listening.
Okay. Jane, I'm going to shut off the overhead camera. I'm wondering if that's causing us trouble here. I'm going to shut that off.
Okay, because that was all I was going to use tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see if that's better, because I'm getting all kinds of signals that things aren't right. Man.
Okay.
Um, I gather people are okay. You can hear okay out there.
Yeah, that's what we're worried about. I
I think so.
I think Jane is freezing. So
Yeah, Jane is freezing a lot.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I've
not
gotten
good.
a new that's supposed to keep me from doing that completely.
Yeah. Yeah. You're freezing up a bunch here. So yeah, people are at least hearing it okay. So it's not cutting out. So okay, we're gonna hang in there. Can
Okay.
hear fine. Okay. All right. One more, a couple more pieces of business. Next week will be the regular Wednesday podcast, and then the Mill Hill Bead Kit winners were Susan Hennig, Kathy Renard, Jane Bardick, Kathy Funk, Victoria Marston, Diane Cross, and Linda Micheloni. Hope I got that right, Linda. You should, I'm sure you all have them by now because they went out right away. So all those bead kits. So we'll be expecting photos coming back like in 2 weeks.
That's right. It won't take you but a day or two to make those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, a couple weeks then we'll be looking for pictures for everybody who's all 7 who have completed their Mill Hill kit finished. Now finished like you can hang it up stuff.
Right,
So yeah,
right, right. Not just stitched,
yeah,
and you have to do all the beading too.
yeah.
Good luck with it.
Well, the pressure's on, folks. All 7 of you. So we're looking forward
Yeah.
to that. All right. Let's see. Sound is passable. Thank you. Susan got her kit. Sound is in and out momentarily.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jane, let's put your overhead camera on, and I'll sign you out of this one, and then put
Okay.
your overhead camera on. Okay.
Fine. We're still going to use the microphone though through the phone. Correct.
Oh, that's right.
Mm.
Yeah, that's not going to work either.
Okay. I'll just hold things up.
Yeah, you're going to have to, because I think it's the best we got here.
Yeah.
Sharon's glad there's no deadline. Oh, Sharon, I emailed you your deadline, and you're already past it. So, too late. You know, you're
Too
too
late.
late. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about these threads here, because there's
Okay.
all kinds of stuff to talk about. So let me put you, Jane, on just you. Whoops.
Okay, can you see everything now?
Not yet. Just a minute. Bear with me.
Okay.
There.
Oops.
There she is.
There's you.
Threads.
Lots and lots of threads.
Yep. Okay, go ahead. Tell us about things.
Okay, altogether, there's approximately 50 different fibers that this company makes, and this is the only product that I sell. She makes everything from 13 millimeter silk ribbon down to 2 millimeter silk ribbon. She makes the metallics, both 4 and 8 braided metallic, and she makes one called metallic twist.
Now
These
talk
are
about Jane. Talk about that in comparison to Kreinik. Does it have more flex to it, or is it? Do you still have to be careful in
it,
terms of it being twisted?
it's first of all the twist is 16 loose strands, and that's the metallic twist. This is from Aubert Soie in Paris. The the base product is the braid in the number 4 and the number 8. That means they had 4 strands braided together or 8 strands braided together. So naturally, the 8 strand is or the number 8 is twice as big in diameter as the number 4 is. They're softer. They don't bite much. I've always had. I don't like to complain about another brand of product because I've used Kreinik all my life and still do use it in certain places, but it has caused me headaches. And this one stitches like a thread. In fact, the number 4 braid will run through your sewing machine.
Oh,
So it gives you an idea of how flexible it is.
yeah.
Okay, I got to interrupt you. Through the top bobbin or the bottom? Through the
Through,
bobbin. For the top or the bottom?
through the needle and through the bobbin. By the way, one of the things I'm going to talk about, or I want to talk about later, is how you do which threads will work through the needle and how you would do that, because it's different than what we normally think of as being able to sew with what traditionally looks like and feels like a hand thread. But it does work, and it works well.
Hmm.
She also makes another really neat product called GIMP, and this one is a cotton core that is spiral wrapped with rayon and then dye. Now that rayon GIMP is then turned into single loop and snail. So these
Okay,
gems,
now I have a question because I was playing
okay,
with my GIMP. What size needle do you use for the GIMP?
16 is the best one. And
Okay,
most of the time, I try to get a milliner's needle because it's the same diameter from one end to the other. So if I want to tie a knot with it on my needle, um, it's easy to tie. So if I want to do a French knot or any of the knots, it has to have a very big eye. Most of the
right.
time we can, but it can be used to stitch with as well. Okay. She makes another one, rickrack, that is rayon rickrack. It has silver woven into it, so the silver doesn't move. It's a silver thread. Those are the trims. Well, I shouldn't say those are all the trims because we also have a twill tape, and this is a 16 millimeter twill tape that you can treat just like a ribbon, just like the silk ribbons are. Then we have painter's treats, which are buttons. You're going to see some of those used throughout. Um, and
Hold,
the
yeah,
other
hold,
usual
Jane,
product.
hold those up a little higher so they're more in the screen there. There we go. There we
Okay,
go.
I'm unable to see what you're seeing. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
This one is called um, a braid, cotton braid, 100% cotton, and it is. You can treat it like a ribbon, so it's flat. You can sew with it. You can put it in your bobbin case.
A
You
little bit
can,
lower, a little bit lower, Jane. There we
little
go. Right,
lower,
perfect, right there.
right there. Okay. This one can be put in the bobbin case. It can be stitched from the top using a free motion couching foot. It can be braided. It's the Kumihimo braiding. Those of you who do that, this one can be braided as well as the gimp. Both of those are good for that. And the other cool thing about this one is all you have to do is pull one of the threads in this braid. I have to get them apart so I can grab one. Okay, can you see how I've got them separated?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. If I pull it, it self-ruches.
Oh,
Oh,
very
there we go.
nice.
There we go.
So I can
Okay.
couch, I can bead on top of it. I can pull it super tight. There's just, your imagination is the only thing that's limiting you.
Okay. And Martha wants to know, is the rack washable?
Absolutely. Even the silver in it is washable. It's washable, dryable, and dry cleanable, I believe. I have to read the label, but I know it's machine washable and machine dryable because it's been machine washed and dried before it ever leaves Germany. And then she has do I have this right, Gary?
Yeah, a little higher, just a little higher.
This wool, and there's a wool that is the same size as what we have always used to do crewel wool, but this is another one that can go through the sewing machine. Now we have silks. We have Soie Americaine, Soie Perlée. Now these are all pearl twisted silks, and I think I did not grab. Apparently, I left out one of them. But there's see what I've got in my hand here. Soie Perlée. This one is a pearl twist silk. This one is called Soie Gobelins. It's another pearl twist. The Soie Perlée is about the same size as a 12 pearl cotton. The Soie Gobelins is about the same size as a pearl cotton 16, and the Soie Americaine about like a pearl cotton 8. Then we've got Soie d'Alger, which is a 7-strand silk. I didn't bring it. I have it, but I didn't put it in this assortment. Soie de Paris as well. The difference of these two is that Soie d'Alger has a matte finish and Soie Perlée is a shiny finish.
Okay, a little higher there, Jane. Okay.
You're probably going to be yelling at me higher, higher.
Now lower. Now lower.
It could be an interesting evening.
It looks like those spools hold an awful lot of thread. About how long is the?
It depends on the thread. There's only 5 meters of the Soie d'Alger on this spool, but the GIMP has 15. The metallic number 4 has 10. The metallic number 8 has 10. Shimmer has 10. So it's when you get into the cottons, the pearl cotton has size 5 now has 30 meters. Size 8 has 50 meters. So you look at the two spools, they look fairly similar, but there's different yardages. The
Right.
size 3, because it's a fatter one, has only 20 meters.
Yeah, but you're getting a
And
good
the,
length of thread on every one of those,
Yes.
no matter what. Yeah.
and size 12, whoops, that's flower thread. Size 12 pearl cotton has 25 meters, and it's this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plenty,
So there's
plenty
lots of thread. Lots of
Pardon
thread
me?
on each of the skeins.
Lots, yes. We also have cotton abrode and flower thread. And the difference between those two is the flower thread has a matte finish, that's this one, and cotton abrode has a shiny finish. And if you compare that to pearl cotton 12, you add the pearl twist and it's even shinier. Can you see the difference between those three?
Yeah, that's nice.
Now I'm going to put all my stuff back in the little tray so I can move it. And we're going to talk about something else. there seems to be some interest. Oh, just before I forget it too,
Oh don't forget about the.
these these are linens. There's 28 count linen. I'm about to knock something over, and 18 count needlepoint canvas.
Oh, that's so much fun.
Isn't it pretty? It's
Mm-hmm.
it most of the time when I look at these, I immediately can see something that I mean, it triggers something that I want to stitch. So it's not, um, it's just easy for me to get a hold of and play with it, and ideas just kind of pop into my head when I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the threads that will go through the needle. Let me see if I can get all of these so you can see them. Okay, starting on this side right here. This one is crewel wool and swa gobelins. Then pearl cotton 12 is this one. And that's another pearl cotton 12. I didn't realize I grabbed two. And then I should have a swa perle. I should have a flower thread and a cotton brode that I showed you a moment ago. All 6 of those will go through the needle. Now you want to use a top stitch needle.
So okay,
Okay, you're talking.
back up the truck. So all 6 of those will go through a needle in a sewing
On a sewing,
machine.
yes.
Holy smokes!
Anything else you have to put in the bobbin case if it's bigger than this. And virtually all of these will go in the bobbin case as well. Maybe not the gimp and things like that that are really stiff, but and I didn't grab a metallic number 4 either, but the metallic number 4 will also sew through the needle. A top stitch needle, if you're not familiar with it, is a needle with a much larger eye. You can use, let's see if I can get it so you can see the eye.
Let's get it there. Yeah, right there's the center. You got a piece of white paper or something you can put behind it?
Let's see. I need something with color to it, I think, instead of white.
There, we can get the idea there, yeah.
Okay. The eye is bigger and more elongated and designed for threads that were called coordinate threads years ago. You can use anything from a 90 to 110. And I use regular machine sewing thread in my bobbin, and I just sew. Here is an example of blanket stitch wool applique.
Oh,
This
okay.
3 minutes from start to finish.
Here, let me put the picture up you sent, Jane.
Okay,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead and talk about what.
because the stitching is here.
Wow.
That's nice.
I do recommend that you sew slower, but I've had no problem, and other people that have tried this have said that it is just like sewing with a regular sewing thread.
Here's a picture Jane sent. Whoops.
Yeah.
Well, if I could actually manipulate a mouse, you could see the picture Jane sent. There we go.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and before I forget, someone asked, does the fabric, the linen, come in fat quarters?
It's approximately they're about 17 inches square
Okay.
before they're washed. So they've been dyed, washed, and dried twice for color fastness. So the they are about a fat quarter of the way the linen is comes off the roll, and the same thing
Okay.
for the needlepoint canvases. They're a little bit bigger. They're 17 and a half or 18. before washing.
Now that is done on this tulip is done. You're back on screen now, Jane. Is done
Okay.
on your linen too.
No, that's cotton. That's a cotton muslin, and it's
Oh, okay.
ours. Um, she does all 40 colors in the cotton and fat quarters as well.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
The
Can't believe
color
you're
I
doing that
do,
with a sewing machine. Jeez.
I know.
the thing that blows my mind is that it's like 30 minutes of work instead of a half a day
Right.
or more. And this is Turner is the background. I'm sorry, not Turner, this is Boucher is the background 120 on this one. And then the wools were not, she did not dye the wools. The wools were some in my stash.
Yeah.
Are there any questions about sewing with the machine and some of these fun fibers?
Well, other than the needle, you just treat it like any other thread. Then you just spin it on a bobbin, put it in the case,
You don't even
and
put it on a bobbin. You just thread the needle with the spool. Put the spool up on your machine.
oh well, what
And
do you use on the bobbin? I missed that then.
oh, a sewing thread. Just what a poly. I use a polyester sewing thread.
Oh,
What I would use constructing clothing.
okay.
I use silk. This is soie perlée, and I
Oh,
quilt,
nice.
and then I couch the braided cotton that I showed you a minute ago. But that quilting with the soie perlée. This one is also. This is quilting with cotton brode.
Mm,
It through the needle, and if you can see the back, it's a navy blue sewing thread
okay.
in my bobbin.
Okay, Sandy wants to know, are the sewing machine threads washable if one wants to dress up clothing then?
Yes, absolutely. I've used it for many embellishing where I want to top stitch around a purchased garment, like a collar, to accent a collar. I, edge stitch a collar with them. And yes, everything that we have is machine washable and dryable. They've all been machine washed and dried before they ever leave Germany. While
Oh,
I've got,
that's great then. So you really don't have, you're not the first one to wash it. So
no,
that
no.
eliminates the guesswork. Okay.
Okay, let's see can you see the edge of this one where my finger is?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that is gimp, and I zigzagged over it right by my edge where I bound my quilt. I laid that right next to the binding, zigzagged over it with a monofilament that's clear thread, and it looks like I put a little piping in there.
Yep.
So it's a cheater. I didn't have to
Yep.
make anything. Laid it down and stitched it on.
Um, Cindy wants to know, how does the dyeing and washing affect the canvas, like the 18 count canvas?
Makes it softer.
Okay, so
But
it softens it up.
yes, the canvas is very, I mean, I can, it's pliable.
Oh, okay.
I mean, wrinkling it can be pressed, it can be ironed, steam ironed. Before it leaves there, it's run through a mangle iron that presses it very flat. But it doesn't affect the hand of it except to make it feel softer. But most of the time, we're working on needlepoint canvas inside a frame, so it's held down.
Right.
All right. I've got a piece here that was sent. Yeah, Cindy, it does not. She sent samples, and so I have a piece here. There's still plenty of stiffness in this. I would not hesitate to stitch with this. It doesn't give up. I would say maybe 30-40% of the stiffness. Is
And
that about
if
right?
that,
Yeah.
yeah, because I think it feels like, I mean, because obviously you're going to feel the paint on them somewhat,
Right.
but it doesn't really change the of the.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Cindy,
and
I wouldn't hesitate to stitch with this at all. No. Put it on stretcher bars and you wouldn't have any trouble. No.
Yeah,
yeah, and especially something where you're using some of those really open stitches, some of the Jean Hilton type ones where you could really see
the
the
back.
fabric. Yeah, because this is fantastic. Yeah.
Gary, can you show the picture of the heart
The heart?
that has the, because that's a nice
Yep.
close
Coming up.
photo using the linen? That's Georgia color 112 as the linen background. And I used, I'm gonna have to look at it closely because it's been several years since I stitched this one. Um, that one's soie d'Alger for the center part of the heart. I outlined it with the single loop rayon gimp braid. I used silk ribbon for the flowers, shimmer ribbon floss in the leaves, and I think that's about all. I think that's all the different fibers I put in that one. But the linen background makes a very pretty contrast. The nice thing about all of her fibers is that no matter what colors you put together, they don't fight. You can mix and mix and put a whole bunch of different things on the same piece, and it doesn't change the hand. I mean, change the look of the. It's just they don't fight is the best way of describing it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
here is again single loop, and this
Oh,
is
wait.
what the spool of single loop looks like,
Hang on.
and the flowers
Whoop.
are
Wrong
made.
one. There we go.
Hold on.
Okay, single loop on the spool, so you can see what the spool looks like. Okay, this is all of these flowers were done with a single.
You're too high. You got to get lower. Can you get lower?
Mm,
There we go. There, you're okay.
There
Done.
we go.
Actually, you have a picture of this if you want to show yours.
Yeah, I do. It's excellent.
Each of the flowers was just one single skein of the. My brain is. It's after 6 o'clock. It's time for me to go to bed. Uh, yeah, I'm on the couch. What can I say? Um, the each one of them, and they're just couched down. So I just started in the center and just went around and around and around with the laying successive rows down until I was satisfied with it. The center is crewel wool using a tufted turkey stitch. The what looks like wallpaper in the background is a 2 millimeter silk down with soie d'Alger, a single strand of soie d'Alger.
That's a nice effect.
Yeah.
It really is. I think it's a fun. It gave the background. If I'd left out it would have been a very very plain piece if I hadn't added the wallpaper to it.
Yeah.
And this painted canvas.
Oh, so Josie wants to know what's the stitch count of the fabrics that you all carry?
The fabric, it's the muslin is it's 180 thread count. It's called muslin, but it's 180 count thread count.
Okay, and I think she meant the linen then.
Oh, the linen is 28 count. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, those flowers are neat, Cindy. I agree. And I'm looking through the stash of stuff we received, and it's, oh, here it is, because I had read Wilhelmina. Anyway,
Wilhelm,
it's beautiful.
you have Wilhelmina. It's red.
Well, it's a kind of, yeah.
They put the
That's what
wrong,
it says.
got the wrong label on it. It
Oh,
should be
okay.
Wilhelmina is, this is, you can't see me. This is
Oh,
Wilhelmina.
we're gonna see in just a second. Here.
Oh, yeah, because
Okay.
I need to know. Oh, it's blue.
Yes,
Oh, so this probably was mislabeled, and that's why I got it.
that may be.
Okay. It's a
And
beautiful color.
probably Matisse or Frida.
Oh, yeah. I got to play with this stuff.
While you've got me on, so I can show you the.
Oh yeah, this quilt is really cool.
Can you zoom or see that, Gary, from where?
Yeah, yeah, we can see it.
Great. All right. The design on this quilt. Well, first of all, the fabric, I used Picasso in the back. I used a combination of clay and Frida in the piecing and Klimt on the outside border. The stitching on the inside is the braided cotton run through a free motion couching foot on the sewing machine. And for those of you who don't know what that looks like, this is my Bernina, but all the major manufacturers make one. Can you see how that foot from
Put
the,
it down just a little bit.
Down
bring it
lower.
down
Yeah,
a little bit?
Yeah,
Okay.
there
there
we
you
go.
go.
All right.
Center. Oh, nope, too
There's
low.
a hole.
Come back up.
Okay. There's a hole in the middle and there's a hole on the outside. The hole on the outside is designed to hold that thread in place that you're couching. And so I usually get it through just because it makes life easier. I'm going to stitch right through that hole. The only trick to using this is that, sorry?
Your voice is cutting out. So you get it in there and then you're gonna stitch through that hole in the center of that plastic disc.
That's correct. Is that you don't want to pull on this thread. I want it to relax so it fills my hole so that no matter where my needle hits in that hole, it's going to hit that thread. If I pull on the thread because it's a braid, it gets thinner.
Yeah,
Can you see how it flexes from thicker to thinner?
yeah.
Just my it from stitching properly. But that's how that was put on. So I drew my design and then I was expecting again to spend a half a day putting that on, and it went on completely, including tucking all my ends under, in about 2 hours.
Oh,
Can you go back to
that's
the
amazing.
quilt so we can see that again now that we see how you put it on? Okay. Wow.
That's just fantastic.
And I used it again. I echoed around the outside and over here as well.
Yeah. Beautiful. And it doesn't take half your life to
That's
do it.
nice.
No, that's the beauty of it. It doesn't. Here's some more of the. This is to make those flowers in the center of
Oh,
this. That was single loop, and I only used 2 colors. I used Kandinsky and Marianne to do all those flowers. This is again this is Wilhelmina as far as the fabric is concerned. It used to be available in 1 yard cuts, and I only have a few of those left. That's Pearl Cotton 3 used for the stem and the leaves. And then this, the what looks like fuzzy stuff at the bottom of this is a product that we no longer have. Unfortunately, I hate to show you, but it was called Skylight. It was a really cool product.
wow.
Take that
Isn't that
out.
nice? That's nice.
That was a fun reading card.
Okay, someone did have a question about your silk ribbon, the sizes you carry, and they come in all the colors, though.
Yes, they come in all 40 colors. They come from 2 millimeter
Okay.
up through 13. So it's 2, 4, 7, and 13.
Right. Didn't know who asked that question, but I thought I better get it asked before we lose it again.
Yeah.
Okay, before we forget.
You're right. Go. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
this
fun.
just trying to break
Gary,
into
you
one.
can too. So rather than me show the whole quilt, I'm going to let you show this one as well.
All right.
Okay, if you can zoom in on the flower, there you go. That's the rayon gimp, and I just followed an outline and zigzagged over it with a monofilament so that I could have some white space. It needed, after I got the other flowers on there, it just needed something else. So I the same outline, but just used the gimp.
And so those other
And
flowers you machined on too, blanket stitch?
yes, correct. Those were blanket stitched with a thread that I used to sell from when I worked for another company.
Oh.
And the flower was just my design. I call it Flower Power. The quilt was called Flower Power, and they're appliques of various sizes. I just used the same outline and blew it up and made it different sizes and cut it out of different fabrics and
Oh.
appliqued it on till I was. And then when I wasn't happy, I the outline in the white space to fill it.
Yeah. Oh,
Very
so
nice.
cool. So cool.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, I've got to ask you because so you use the ribbon floss, the cotton. You do use that mainly then, and when you're machine sewing and just couch it down. Have you
I
ever
use
used
it
it
for
like for hand in hand?
yes.
Because I'm looking. Okay.
Gary, can you
Um,
let's see if I
Oh, I'm sorry.
can, because it's in
Coming
a
up.
frame.
oh,
Uh,
Down.
well,
Down.
back in the,
That's all right, right there.
all right.
perfect.
This this is the rayon braid, which is like shimmer floss but made only with rayon. This leaf and stem and the flowers are all the cotton, the braided cotton. So stitch with, I treat it like a ribbon,
Okay.
and it's a stitch that I can do with a ribbon.
All right. So a chain stitch.
In stitch is perfect with it, yes.
Yeah, or
Or an
a
outline stitch.
herringbone, an outline. Yeah, you could do a like a herringbone though. If you laid it flat and did some big stitches, you would be able to do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
have to play with it.
it's really a neat thread in that it will lay flat, or if you stitch with it, it kind of gets round. When you
Okay.
pull when you pull on a braid, the braid changes from a super flat thread to a more rounded thread. So, can you see the knots in the middle of this?
Yes.
Their knots are made with the cotton.
Okay.
So
Well, and
it looks cotton when you're through with it.
because I played with the painter shimmer,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, okay, this is kind of round, and I did an outline stitch with it, and then some French knots. And but then when I started playing with it, I thought, oh, if I took gently kind of laid it flat, for like on a needlepoint canvas, you could do like a mosaic stitch with it.
Okay, let me see if I can get this
Something
one.
like
So,
or a Scotch stitch. You know what I'm saying? Something or a Byzantine where you're doing kind of over laying it
let me see.
flatter. I just see all sorts of possibilities for that.
This one is shimmer, right?
Oh
Right.
yeah.
So that's shimmer. This one is all done with shimmer.
Oh, Gary. Okay,
Yep.
think for a second. You know that Rosewood Manor peacock.
Oh yeah. There you go. Yep.
Absolutely. I've got
Yep.
just the color Picasso or Grandma Mose.
Okay, I
Just the
got to
color.
write that down. Where's my pencil, Gary?
That's a good call. Yeah, that peacock, you could have a lot of fun with those threads. Yep.
Yeah. Gary, in your pictures at the almost the last one is the sun.
Yep.
Would you show that one? Because that's almost all shimmer.
Yeah. Hang on just a second before we do that.
Sure.
I wanted to. This is some of the thread, the silk ribbon. It's just, it's so delicate. It really is beautiful. Well, this is like 6 or 7 millimeter, but and I don't know what color it is. It's SR07, whatever that is. But it really is just gorgeous.
Oh
Well, you
yeah,
can.
I'll have to show you. I should show you what I did too. Let me find my. See, mine is all in a
Let's
mess
all
in here
let's
because I've been
all hold
digging.
up our ribbon, okay? That'll be cool.
This
Yeah, yeah, that one. And then where's? I have a green one, and I'm looking for it because I was just playing with it. Well, it's on my stitching. I did. What did I do? I did this leaf with it just now.
oh,
This leaf, I
beautiful.
outlined it with the flower thread, and then I did a little leaf.
That's
Yeah.
And then, okay, now this is, see, since I'm sitting here, I thought I got to do something with my hands. This is the metallic braid I'm working with. Can you see
so.
that, those French
Feel,
knots and the little chain stitch?
how does it
And
feel
it's
to you?
wonderful, no problem. And then that's the reason I asked you about the GIMP was I wanted to do a knot with it because
Hmm.
I saw your images. And all I have is an 18, so I need a 16 because it's
Yeah.
just a little too small. And
Yeah.
okay, while I'm on, so any of you that do needlepoint and know Tony Gertis,
Yes.
she
That
uses, this is obviously GIMP here in
that
in in Klimt. This is the Klimt kimono.
yes.
Yeah, I'm going too much this way. Anyway, beautiful.
Leaf
So she has beautiful threads in there that she's using in that
Mm-hmm.
thread. And she's using painter's threads.
I think she used some of the number 8 braid as well in that one, but I can't
I
remember. It's been a while. Filled an
Yes,
order for her.
she used a shimmer.
A shimmer.
Drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're right, Sandy. The Laurel Birch birds would do really well with shimmer, and we'll see Beth do that after I send it to her. We'll see her demonstrate that for us because I'm not gonna do it. So
Gary, come on.
that'll be in the mail probably the next couple days to you, and then we'll see you use shimmer on the birds. It'll be very exciting for all of us.
Now, somehow,
Can't hear you.
I said during the podcast, he said he was going to do that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I think he's just harassing me.
I think so. I think you might be right. Let's see.
Oh, look
Little
at that.
Gotta hold
This
that
one,
up higher.
higher.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay. This one is Soie Gobelins on an 18 count. I'm sorry, Soie Perlé on an 18 count canvas. Then this, I can't see what my finger's doing. Rick Rack laid side by side and couched down. The blue in this bird is number 4 braid. And I used, if you can see these little loops over on the side and on the top of his head, those are a buttonhole stitch formed over top of a loop. So it's a freestanding buttonhole stitch that, so they'll move.
Okay, so a
You
detached
see how?
buttonhole.
Yes, it's a detached
Oh,
buttonhole.
fun.
And then a 2 millimeter
Oh, what
silk
did you?
ribbon
I'm
couched
sorry.
on the side.
So what did you use for
Excuse me?
the detached buttonhole? What did you use for the detached buttonhole?
Number 4 braid.
What thread?
Number 4
Oh,
metallic braid. I'm sorry.
yep. I'm going to try it with this number 8. We're sitting here.
Okay.
Let's just try some.
Well, it just didn't give me the scale because I started with an 8 and decided I liked the 4 for the scale of that one better.
Yeah, I'm just playing, so why
Beth,
not?
live
All
testing
right.
painter's threads.
That's
Let's see.
Let's go.
why
Let's
these
go.
are so much.
Let's go to that. Let's go to that sun. And Sharon, you're right. I am handing that canvas off to Beth. I just haven't had a chance to get a proper packaging to send it in. And yeah, life. So we have this.
Yeah.
Yes. That one is done with all shimmer in the background.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What's the shimmer look like that's in the package? Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me see. I'm going to pull my I've opened this package. Let's show. It's very nice, soft, has a beautiful shine to it.
The braid that I showed you that was gold a moment ago is just like, it's called rayon braid. It's just like the shimmer, but without the metallic.
Okay.
And if we can go back to this one, Gary, you, this
Okay.
one, the tip stitch in the background is shimmer as well as leaf stitch, making the bargello. So that it
Okay.
can be used in all kinds of different ways. On needlepoint canvas, from 13 count to 18 count works equally well. The dangerous thing for me about these is that there are so many different techniques that I can do with them, and they range from quilting to needlepoint to embroidery to sewing machine work to actually anytime I pick up a needle I can use a painter's thread, and it gives me a whole lot of pleasure to play with them.
Well, and okay, you're right about. I was playing with the number 8. It just looks like a big blob. So I see
It
why you moved to the number 4. I mean, it does. It looks like I mean, it adds texture to this piece, so I'm not ripping it out. But
Here,
it's
hold it up for us.
okay. Hold on. You won't be able to see it. Let me. I don't want to lose my needle, so I'm gonna stick it in my fabric here. Poke myself. So this is the sharp. Let's see. It's that little thing.
To your right. There we go. Right there.
Let's see. Can you see it? Let me hold it flat. To my right. It's in that blob of right here of knots, and you can't tell. It's just a big blob. That big blue blob is it. So you really can't see. It just looks like a blob. It needs to be finer. But you were talking about finer. I stitched, I think this is the 103. I'm
yes.
using 36 count linen. And I just started stitching a little cross stitch on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it has a shine, which you obviously can't see on the camera. This blue would be so pretty on any of those cross stitch pieces that has water,
Yes.
because it's just going to add just a little movement. I mean, it's got a shine to it, even if you didn't use it for the whole body of water, because some of them are solid. I know you all know which one patterns I'm talking about, but if you added it in, it would just add a sparkle
And you could
to the.
use with the 103, you can blend it with another thread if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So you could use one strand of like a soie d'Alger or any other thread to mix with it, and then you don't have quite as much shine, and you also have some more texture. So it's one that is definitely a blending filament. Well, actually, technically, I guess you call the soie d'Alger the blending filament, but there's no reason you can't hold any two together
Right,
to stitch
right.
well. And they don't have to
It's
be the same.
right. Absolutely not.
I've also used the number 4 on a painted canvas where it was water and I wanted the water to show. I wanted some sparkle, but I wanted that background, the blue background to show. And so I stitched with a number 4 braid, metallic braid, and it gave a lot of shine to that area. And then, believe
Oh,
it or not, metallic twist is strong enough to stitch with a single strand. There's 16 strands in a pack in a twist of it, but a single strand, and I've done that where I wanted to have clouds on a canvas, and I could stitch some really open stitches with it,
Uh-huh.
long stitches, and make them different sizes,
Yeah.
and it gave a hint of a cloud.
yeah.
And this is that other piece that you now you way along on, right, Beth?
Right, right. And I've got to say, I love the flower thread, which is that top flower. I just did a chain stitch and then did some bullion knots with it just to play. Just to, I said, oh, there's a leaf shape. I'll just do that. And I just really enjoyed it. And since then, I did it like a herringbone on another shape next to it. And I just loved how that it's not shiny. It's got that matte look. And now that I'm adding the sparkle with jigs, it's just fun. I'm just having way too much fun on this piece. I have no clue what I'm going to do with it. I'm just playing here.
Well, I love the fabric that you're using for the background there too.
Well, yeah, and it's just something my friends and we had a play date and we dyed fabric, and I was
Mm-hmm.
looking through and I was like, oh, I think I could stitch on that. So I pulled it.
I have one customer that does a lot of stitching on cotton just that same way, where she buys the cotton muslin and then she lets it be her inspiration for how she's going to stitch it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yep. We got anything else in here that we wanted to show?
I think we've done everything unless there's a question that I can answer. Otherwise, I've
I love
shown
this
you
piece.
most. This is one of Bearable, the lady who does all the dyeing.
Oops.
Was one of her pieces. She was doing a workshop here in
What did wait, what did I just do?
Oh,
there in stump work, and that was a fun workshop.
oh, yeah.
All kinds of
Stump
stuff.
work.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to play with this. I think this is cotton embroider. Or is it a soft cotton? This must be the soft cotton. But having played with the flower thread, it makes me want to find. I'm sorry?
It's a fat thread. It's about the size of pearl cotton free. It's still very pliable, and it'd be fun to play with. Yes.
Oh yeah, Matt Garn.
Yes.
Matt Garn. You dated him,
Yeah,
didn't you, Beth?
You're speaking French
No.
beautifully.
You sure, Beth? I heard stories.
Nope, not him. Nope.
Beth and
I'm
Matt
looking
Garn. I heard stories.
Yeah, no. I'm looking to see if I can find the other one. Oh yeah, that's pretty.
That's really nice. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that y'all have played with your packages.
Oh yeah.
Hope our customers will play with their packages whenever they get those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. And then I liked the wings on your bird to use for the rickrack.
Oh yes.
I didn't even. That's what a fun idea. So I have this blue leaf shape here. Maybe I could. Let's see. See that blue right there?
Yep.
It's flat. I don't know. Might be too big. I'll have to think. I'll have to play with it some more.
Yeah,
The nice thing rickrack is that if you lay it side by side, it nestles.
Mm-hmm.
It right side up. It fills and just nestles together so
Uh-huh.
beautifully.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I could do it. It might work and, put it in one of these bigger leaf shapes, do it kind of diagonally.
Hmm. You can also braid it if you need to have
Oh,
a side of a ornament. You can braid that together, and it actually, if you hold it flat and lay it and braid it, it becomes 3 times as wide.
There you can see the
oh,
metallic in the rickrack there.
Hmm. And it's woven in. That's a metallic thread that's woven in, so it's not going to move.
that's
That's a
neat.
nice feature. Yeah.
You can.
Mm-hmm.
It's also one that you can couch down with a sewing machine
Oh, yeah.
and use a hand needle or a sewing needle for that one.
I mean,
Oh, and Deb,
this is a necklace right here, automatic necklace.
Yes.
there
You
you
know,
go.
it really is.
There you go. Oh, but okay, now here's the other one that I really liked. We got a little piece of this, and it's the snail.
Yeah.
So
That
this is obviously not Wilhelmina. This is a red.
okay. It looks like Matisse from here,
Okay.
and you see that it's the gimp, and the gimp is twisted together and
Oh,
stitched
right.
right on through.
Oh, okay. I don't have any paper, of course. So
What did I do with mine? I just had that out a little bit ago.
isn't that pretty? It has that
Oh, there
silver
it is.
and then the red. So, okay, so let's see. Now, of course, it would make it nice for around a pillow or something, but the right color, and I don't think this is quite right.
Here, Jane. Here.
I can't bend that.
I'm trying to put it on as well.
But okay, so I've got these big leaf shapes here, kind of.
Higher, Jane.
It's all flock.
There you go.
Oh, that's the color I need.
Yes. That one is Mark.
Like Marc Chagall?
No, like Mark. I can't remember which Mark. No, Mark. Shoot,
Mark
Mark
Shoot.
Chagall.
Okay.
No, it's Mark is the last name for all of the men except for Monet. She uses the last name, and for the women she used the first name.
A little
So
lower, Jane. Lower.
his name is something Mark. We
Oh,
also have a
yeah.
Chagall. What that canvas was that I held up is Chagall.
Okay, right.
This is
Oh,
Chagall.
okay. All right. Well, okay, and
Great.
even, yeah, that's beautiful.
Show me
This
what
is
you were
one.
doing. Oh, I'm sorry, Jane. Go ahead, Jane. Oh my, look at that. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What's that?
This
Oh,
Holy
is a.
yes.
This is actually a kit that Bearable does that we sell as
Back it
a.
up. Back it up a little bit. So it's there. You go. Oh, look at that.
It uses the buttons. It uses pretty much everything. This is the twill tape. You see the at the bottom. Let me see if I can get it up high enough that you can see it. This is
Okay.
with a button in the center of it,
Go
and then
higher up. Oh yeah.
Okay, so what
different
are the
pearl cotton.
triangles? Oh, pearl
They're
cottons. Okay, sorry.
a combination of pearl cottons. There's several different fibers used in them. Around the outside, there's the single loop on the outside of the top one.
Yep.
Then I believe it's rickrack is the second one, and the bottom one is single loop. And then the blue line throughout is the braided cotton, the cotton braid, organic cotton ribbon floss braid, couch down. And then up here at the very top, the soft cotton. That's soft cotton. And this is with gimp knots. Those are Norway knots, I believe. Is that
Okay.
Yeah, a little higher.
a little
okay.
high?
There we go.
And then again, soft cotton with the buttons sewn in there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
That piece really shows a lot of stuff, what you can do with so many of those. That's really great.
It's designed to be a learning, a teaching piece, or a learning piece if you were just learning technique.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a self-contained kit with everything. You get the can, get the thread, you get all the instructions, all the threads, because there's a lot of threads used on that one, and all the trims too.
Yep. All right, let's wrap this up. So let me go back now. So you go to threadnuts.com, and it's right on
Yes,
the home page, and you can get
yes.
this sampler package that Jane put together, $35. That includes your shipping. So you can get some of these threads, and already from some of the comments, it looks like people have already started to shop because you can get all of her threads off of her site there. But this package she's put together is right on the home page, so you can at least get a sampling of several of the threads that you can play with, and so check that out. Threadnuts.com, right down there at the bottom.
Right. Yeah. A class for that one would be a lot of fun. You're right. Learning different techniques, or
Yes.
just, taking the sampler packs and just playing on a canvas. That would be fun.
Yeah. Yep.
I find that
These are fun threads. Just lots of fun.
Yep.
when they have a way to go, they kind of freeze. And if you have a pattern or some kind of suggestion to play, then you get that much done, and then you get jumping off like you're doing, and doing more and more and more with them.
Right. Right. Because all of a sudden you can see the possibilities. You start playing, and it's like, oh, I could do this. I could do that. Let me try this.
Yep.
And once you have them in your hands, it makes a difference too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Good.
All right, Jane. Thanks
Thank
so
you all
much.
so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate. Have a wonderful evening.
That was a lot of fun. All right. Thanks to everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
Go to
Thank you.
threadnuts.com and have some fun. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.